Vegas to the world.
Does the place sound like straight to the point? Boom, flight. What do you want to see this podcast as? We at the Curve Guest House, but if you go be bona after Kimesaji bona soft yeah, soft line. So thank you so much for being with us. This is Heat Up. This is the Heat Up episode.
Providing balance so that we can do our best with God's talent.
We call it This Is the Podcast.
We live today.
Wow, also an invitation to you. Wow. So this book is
My idea is that what is the gap there? If there's a gap in the market, I always find a way to bridge the gap. And as I do that, I don't just go alone. I also find people to put in, either with resources, but at the same time
go anywhere. South Africa is number one when it comes to music.
Oh, what makes you say that?
I'm telling you, it is the only country in the music genre. And probably artistic.
Yeah.
Because of
Unknown from the corner is one stone. Coloring life for more than
Please put us on social media pages on TikTok and on Facebook as well. Thank you so much. My name is Tidi.
The direction is taking us in like the wind from a city that's discovered by Dusabo, Chicago. Taught me how to lead and to follow.
Hi, greetings South Africa. This is your boy TD Daniels and you're watching the podcast. So in this podcast I'll be working along with Dumelo Dlamini as my co-host. Like what is she doing? And I'm working with Sfiso Lala. Is it okay?
That's fine.
Yeah, so today we're doing a roundtable for the whole podcast so that like we can break down everything that you guys are expecting. We're gonna have fun, we're gonna cry, we're gonna enjoy the whole thing. So I'd like Sfiso to elaborate and maybe break down like what this podcast is all about and what are we expecting as our audience along this podcast.
No, thank you, Tabang. Hi to everyone at home. As asked to Lore, my name is Fiso Wahani Aja. Kukula is spread the way you are trying to take. I'm like, it's the name. No, just a brief summary about the podcast. We call it This Is the Podcast. And it's mainly to issue out those icons. Kasia Rona, we have people that are doing the wonders, amazing. You can call them heroes, some of them. And we need to know of them, we need to hear from them. We need to say, okay, here are these people and be accessible. Especially by us right here at home and taking them out to the world to say, okay, consider some that are in your industries, doing the very same things that it is. So we're going to pick up a huge list of good heads, nice people in Villiers, Kalabucha, and Kaspani Sabona Sebasieta. And we want to know how did they come about that? How do they find themselves along that journey? And what is it that they are doing? And apart from that, it's just us having fun, talking, and teaching each other about
where we are, grasping information as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
So like to me and like about whatever that he said based on the podcast, like how do you take it? Like how do you feel about it? Never gonna really change it to change it because who joined? How do you feel about it?
Now I'm delighted, I'm happy and inspired by the idea of a hotel podcast. Videos, it will recognize them, but
to give them flowers.
Yeah, we give them their flowers because most of the people are but then ha re tsebe dintho ba feisanang le tsona
Le
so
tsona,
re ba
how
bona
to-
fela
Oh,
mola
yeah.
ka ntle ba ho fence so I'm glad hore podcast e tlo ba tlisa haufi le rona so that
Closer
we can-
to us.
yeah a bona and hape e tlo ba etsa hore ho be na le access so if there's someone a batlang ho latela the very same thing
Oh.
so I etsang
Oh.
and then we have the access on all the resources
The resources
yeah.
To get. So I like the fact that, okay, if you see a role model in this podcast and knowing so very well you want to learn and to know something about them, so this podcast will be a way for you to know whatever that you want to know based on the person that you're following.
Yeah.
That's a very nice one. Like,
Yeah, so
I think
so
Ghana is that measure anyway.
Yeah, that's fun to that because anyway, it's a platform where we're going to be sharing and they are going to tell us about their journeys. So it should open up for more insights, more perspectives and more angles to what we are facing right now.
Yeah, and somehow it will as a middleman between like you and someone other.
Oh, someone, okay, an influence person. And like my mind is all over the place. Where are we, guys? Where are we? Where are we?
Tabaka's lost it because she's
Like, yeah, like my mind is all over the place. Like, please, I'm sorry for that.
Just to add up further on what we need to share for everyone here, the place that we are using to shoot this podcast. For now, because it's still our earliest episodes, we
Yeah.
are going to be here maybe for the next 2 months, and then I most definitely believe we will see for other episodes because they are going to be on field. We are going to change venues and go maybe to a place where that guest is working at and then shoot the podcast there. But currently we are at the Curve Guest House. It's one of the guest houses in Kalabucha Villas. I had Elia Obuti, it's actually the only guest house in Kalabucha.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
the place
nice.
where we are right now, and we will be for the time being. And up until you see us, maybe starting at the place where the client is working at.
Yeah.
Oh, so yes, we do out broadcast. If you feel like you have the information or the things that we need and you can't make it to the place where you're recording at, we are free to come to your site and record the whole broadcast at your own
Definitely.
space.
Sure.
So yes, we do accept invites. If you want to be part of this podcast and you feel like you've been left out, you can simply contact us so that like we can come and have you on the table. It's very hot, by the way. It's very hot, by the way. Bitumelo, can you please tell me or tell us, Hori, where do you want to see this podcast in the next coming months?
Leaders to the world.
That's the
That's
place.
all I can say.
That's the place. I'm like straight to the point. Boom, flight.
To the world.
What do you want to see this podcast as? At?
Well, let me say in 6 or a year, yeah, let's go national.
Oh, listener will go home.
Nowadays it's quite easier. Yeah, and I do believe we will see 6 months, a year. You guys are going to take us national.
Yeah, and it's definitely them, not us.
Most definitely.
So the thing is that we're having our podcast available to each and every social media platforms. Your TikTok, your Facebook, your Insta. Listen, be there. So the only thing that we need from you, it's your
Cooperation.
with your cooperation in terms of liking our content, in terms of sharing it, in terms of giving us the feedback, and in terms of subscribing to our YouTube channel. That is the very most important thing. Please do subscribe, click that notification button, and give us what you think in each and every episode that we post. Please say a word, or okay, Sharp, this is how you feel, this is how you felt, and this is what you want to see. Because basically this podcast is not for only this table, but everyone who's viewing it, for everyone who have access to it. You have a word to it, you can change it as much as you want to change it, as long as we serve the information that you guys need. So that's the thing. And again, yeah,
2 cents. Okay.
Yeah,
To
sponsors and
one
all
thing
that.
about guys, one thing about this lady, she's all about the paper. I think I'm saying this for the second time. Boy, the Mandelas. So yes, we are so open to receive any donation if possible, any sponsor if possible, but under some certain circumstances, obviously we do have T's and C's applies.
Most definitely.
Yeah, so like if you feel like you have something to offer, like it's okay. Even if you feel like you have water to fill our cups, please do that. So yeah, I would definitely love to have our sponsors, your collaborations. If you have a company that you feel like this is a great space for your market, it's okay, you can bring your craft so that we can talk about it. So that was the tea for the day, and we still have more to come. This is your boy TD Daniels, and this is your favorite podcast, the place that you need to be each and every week to get information and stuff. So now we closing. Should we close? But like, should I close?
Let's close. We'll get more from.
Yeah, Pelagian Lazarus here. I should hear from you. Should I close? So we closing the guest house. We're not closing it.
Yeah, but
coming back.
we are going.
So guys, please do interact with us on our social media pages as they are on the screen right now. This is the podcast on YouTube. That's the only way of how you're gonna get us on YouTube. This is the podcast on YouTube, Facebook page we do have. This is the podcast, and we do have a TikTok page as well. This is the podcast. Listen, everything. This is the podcast. TD Daniels is your host, and I'm alongside with Tumelo Dlamini, my co-host, and our Mr. RT Base. We at the Curve Guest House, but if you go be after message yeah, soft life. So thank you so much for being with us. This is Heat Up. This is the Heat Up episode. We're gonna come back with more next week. No failure cover the book. Next week Thank you so much.
Bye.